Good morning, Pastor George here, bringing you some Wednesday words of wisdom on the World Wide Web. And as always, those words of wisdom come to you from God and His holy word. This morning, I want to talk to you for just a couple of minutes about anger, because it seems like we have a real issue with anger management in our world today, or maybe I should say lack of anger management in our world today, where people are responding to situations and handling situations with anger as never before. You know, anger has always been an issue for humanity, but it does seem like lately it's been escalated or amplified to unprecedented levels. And yet the Bible reminds us in Ephesians 4:26 that as Christians we are not to sin in our anger. It says, "In your anger, do not sin." God isn't saying that there aren't things that we shouldn't be angry about, but we have to be careful what we do with our anger and how we handle it or how we manage it. And again, it's very clear, in your anger, do not sin. But in our world today, we're seeing so many examples of sinful anger, especially in dealing with some of the topics or situations going on in our world today, where people in face-to-face meetings, rather than having level-headed discussions, respectful conversation, even in times of disagreement or debate, are resorting to anger and rage, sinful anger and rage. What might be some examples of sinful anger? Well, let me give you just a couple that I've witnessed recently. I saw recently somebody put a post on social media, and the person professes to be a Christian, and I'm not questioning their faith. That's not up to me, and I don't want to do that. But in their very angry rant on social media, they used a vulgarity, and it detracted from the message that they were trying to get across. Another example of anger, sinful anger, is recently I saw some people who were making a public statement with flags and banners and things like that. Nothing wrong with that. But one of the large flags that they were carrying had a very vulgar message on it. And that's just sinful anger. And we're seeing more and more of those types of things. I've even experienced, as I've been driving, some situations where people seem to be driving very angrily. I don't know if it's just bad driving on their part or what, but they seem to be really angry in the way that they respond to other people on the road. And so, again, the Bible makes it very clear. I'll say it one more time. In your anger, do not sin. Because here's the problem with that. One of the problems, anyways, is in James chapter 1 at verse 20, it says this. It says, man's anger, okay, talking about sinful anger, does not bring about the righteous life that God desires. So, sinful anger, the types of anger that go off the deep end, the types of anger that involve sin, that anger actually impedes the Christian life. It prohibits, or it's a roadblock to Christian development. Not only can it impede Christian development, but it also is a distraction or a diversion or a detour, if you will. So it actually can detract and drive people away from their walk of faith because it's habit forming, if you will. Sinful anger and handling things in sinful ways can be habit forming or contagious, if you will. And so when the Bible talks about that the man's anger does not bring about the righteous life that God desires for us, obviously sinful anger is contrary to the life that God desires for His people. One of the solutions to that is just in the verse prior to that in James 1:19, where it says this, everyone, no exceptions, everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. So God is saying this, even in difficult, challenging times, that we have to be thoughtful about what we're hearing and thoughtful about how we're going to respond to it, and then very careful to choose our words wisely. Listen, God is not saying that we should not be involved with things. He's not saying that we can't have an opinion or take a stance on things or stand up for something. He's not saying that at all. But what he is saying is that when we do that, that we have to do it in a Christ-like way, in a way that does not detract or impede our Christian life. But also we want to be careful that the way that we handle things and respond to things does not impede our Christian witness to others as well. So even in hot button issues, even in difficult issues, even in challenging times, even in stressful situations, we are called to not sin in times of anger and to not allow anger to detract from the righteous life that God desires us to live, which also means we don't want anything to impede our Christian witness to other people. This is Pastor George praying that God's Word makes a difference in your life today, and I pray that you have a great day today. God bless you.